computer is picking up a strange signal. Here, sir, you better take a look at
it. Hello, and welcome to episode 133 of Life Through a Prism with your host, Rob Tierney. In this podcast, we may look at topics such as LGBTQIA+, disability, or pop culture. In this episode, we're going to look at pop culture, specifically He-Man and Masters of the Universe. We're going to look at an article from thatparkplace.com entitled Masters of the Universe Actress Links Teela to Toxic Masculinity, as film's messaging comes into focus yet again. Written by Pamela Fitzgerald, dated the 16th of April 2026. The upcoming Masters of the Universe film is once again finding itself pulled into a familiar cultural conversation. This time, following new comments from Teela actress Camila Mendes that tie her character directly to themes of toxic masculinity. The remarks add to a growing pattern of messaging surrounding the project, which has already sparked debate among fans after similar comments from director Travis Knight earlier this year. Camila Mendes describes Teela through toxic masculinity. In a recent interview with Entertainment Weekly, Mendes outlined her interpretation of Teela, focusing heavily on the character's upbringing and emotional defences. Here's the full quote. "It's hard to talk about Teela without talking about her relationship to her father, because I feel like so much of who she is has to do with how she was. I guess let down as a kid, and I feel like that really built this outer wall around her that's sort of like shielding this inner sensitivity. She's affected by toxic masculinity just as much as the men in the film. And I think she sort of adapted masculinity to protect herself in this very masculine world. It's how she survives. She's in survival mode, and has been for a very long time." Mendes' comments frame Teela not just as a warrior, but as someone shaped by negative male influences, suggesting that her strength is, at least in part, a response to that environment. Not the first time the film has used this language. This isn't the first time Masters of the Universe has been linked to this kind of terminology. As previously reported, director Travis Knight made headlines when discussing the film's themes, going so far as to describe Skeletor in similar terms. That earlier comment raised eyebrows at the time, though some fans brushed it off as a poor choice of wording rather than a clear indication of the film's direction. With Mendes now reinforcing similar ideas, it's becoming hard to dismiss the language as incidental, a familiar tension for fans. The Masters of the Universe toxic masculinity discussion highlights a broader tension that continues to surface around modern franchise films. Stories about flawed characters, personal growth, and complicated relationships are nothing new, especially for a property like Masters of the Universe, which has always explored themes of power and responsibility. But the specific terminology being used here is what tends to shift the conversation. For many, phrases like toxic masculinity aren't neutral descriptors. They're widely seen as progressive coded language used to frame male behaviour in a negative light. Once that terminology enters a conversation, it stops being just about character development and starts feeling like a broader ideological statement pulling the film directly into culture war territory. Messaging versus storytelling. What's notable is how quickly the conversation around the film pivots when these comments surface. Instead of focusing on the scale of the production, the casting of Nicholas Galitzine as He-Man, or the visual direction seen in earlier trailers, attention shifts back to messaging. That shift can be significant for a legacy franchise trying to appeal to both long-time fans and a new audience. There's nothing inherently controversial about giving Teela emotional depth or exploring her past. In many cases, that kind of character work strengthens the story. The challenge here comes when the language surrounding that development becomes a headline rather than the story itself. Culture war films have been box office poison for several years now, with movies like One Battle After Another, The Marvels, Captain America Brave New World, and many more flopping hard at the box office. The bigger picture for Masters of the Universe. At the end of the day, the success of Masters of the Universe won't be decided by interviews. It'll come down to whether the film delivers on what audiences expect from the brand: adventure, heroism, and a compelling journey in the world of Eternia. But as long as terms like toxic masculinity continue to surface in promotional conversations surrounding Masters of the Universe, they're likely to remain a part of the narrative whether the studio intends it or not. Do you think that the comments that are being made using the toxic masculinity card will hinder the box office? Are you new to the franchise, or are you going with watching the 80s series in mind? Would love to hear your thoughts. Let's have a conversation. Till next time, take care, and bye for now.